Welcome back to Homeschooling Mama, where I share with you how I have homeschooled my 5 children while having health issues in my body. I want to tell you it's not always easy, but homeschooling isn't always easy, even if you didn't have any health issues. Um, but it's doable and you can do it and you can still create a vibrant homeschool for your family. It's important that you know what the requirements are for your state for your homeschooling, because it is important to make sure that you're meeting the basic requirements so that your children are getting what they need and that you are complying with the law and you won't have any issues at a later date. The type of curriculum that you use is really important in homeschooling when you are dealing with serious health issues in your body. There are some people that use the curriculums where they purchase a curriculum from a curriculum based system or school. They can choose to either buy all the products and give the assignments to the children themselves and correct them themselves and maintain their homeschool that way. There are some that purchase the curriculum, but they have the videos, and the children can watch the videos, they can do the books, and then they send in their assignments every week. The homeschool curriculum education system that they purchased it from will then grade them and maintain all of that for their children. There are some people who create their own curriculum and use a varied amount of curriculum. Homeschooling is so exciting because it allows you to find what works best for you and your family. And the public system out there now is doing public school on a home-based homeschool type of a thing. So there's a lot out there. I have never used anyone else's curriculum in the sense that I use it in its entirety. Now I do use some books from like Rebecca or different other things like that, but primarily I create my own curriculum for my children. I also use a lot of books from like Barnes and Noble. I go to the school stores, the teacher stores. I buy books there. I use the library a lot. I utilize the internet. We also have a very large library that we have created in our home, as well as using the public library. So there's a lot of things out there that you can do. You need to find out what's best for you. But when you're dealing with a health issue in your body, there's a lot of things that can happen because it's up and down and you never know what you're going to experience every day or how you're going to be doing. You can start off good and then have a rough evening, and then in the middle of the night you're great again. Or you can start out, not doing well, and by noon you're good. It's up and down and you don't know what's going to happen. And sometimes there's hospitalizations and sometimes there's periods where you're bedridden, or you're just having a really hard way to go. There's times when there's a lot of appointments, therapies or treatments or just doctor's appointment. There's just a lot of stuff, inpatient, outpatient surgeries, things that can come up, but you still need to be able to move your homeschool along. So how do you do that? One of the things I would suggest is that you homeschool all year long, because when you homeschool all year long, you're able to take breaks as you need them. And I would not suggest that you take long breaks like a month here, 2 months there, 3 months there, because sometimes what happens is you can find out that you end up taking more breaks than doing school. So what I have found in my life is it is best to be as consistent as possible. Consistency is the key. And so we go all year long, but we do take breaks because there are times when we just need a break. And there are certain times of the year where we prefer to be off than others because, there's things that we would like to do. But there's also times when I'm in the hospital or things are really hard. We're at home, but we're really fighting to keep me here or just to get through some hard times. And so sometimes we don't do school during those times, or sometimes we don't do them as hard. However, when I am in the hospital and when there's been times when I've been fighting really hard in my body and I've been home, and there's been times when we have had to travel for health care, and there's just been a lot of things, and we still continue to homeschool. So how do we do that? Well, the basic way that we do that is this. I have learned to have a basic schedule for my children. that they know that they need to do. So we don't say, we try to do homeschooling for 4 to 5 hours in the summer, and then in the winter time we usually try to bounce that down to maybe 3 to 4 hours. But homeschooling is all the time in my house. If we're cooking, if we're baking, whatever we're doing, it's a learning experience. If we're driving on the road, we're teaching. If we're going grocery shopping, they're getting lessons on math, on weight, on cooking, on all kinds of things. So it's always a lifestyle. Homeschooling for us is a lifestyle, but I also make sure they have a basic idea of knowing what they need to do, whether mommy is good or mommy's not doing so good, whether I'm home or I'm not home, you know what needs to be done. So they know that. They basically get up and they have a thing that they do in the morning. We know that we're going to sing some songs, we're going to do some Bible and some reading, and they have some things that they recite and that they go over, and then boom, we're full-fledged into the book learning time. And what they know is that they start off with this: everybody do their spelling. This is how they do their spelling. Everybody is going to do, certain subjects, the books in those subjects, and they know that they need to cover this many pages. If we're doing reading, because we do a lot of reading in this house, and so when we're doing certain reading times, private reading times or family reading times, they know it lasts about this long. So they know basically what needs to be covered on any given day. They know how much time they get to do computer things. They know how much time they get to do video things, and they have a basic idea. So whether I'm home or I'm not home, whether I'm up and I'm really involved or I'm not able to be involved, they know what needs to be done. And I know what I can come back and check, because I know what should have been covered and how much should be done. And I can pretty much tell if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing or not, because everyone is aware what should be done. I hope that was helpful for you today. We're going to talk about some other things in other times, but when you're dealing with a health issue and you're not always able to be fully engaged the way that you like to be engaged, it is good for the children to know what they need to do, how much they need to be able to have covered. And so that when you're able to come back and be involved, they have still been progressing, you know where they should be, and you know how much should have been done that you can go through and correct. And also I want to say this: when you go back and you correct some work that you weren't able to be there for, I always stop my children and you got to go back, and we're going to go back and correct the things that you did, and we're not going to progress until you can get caught up. Everything always has to be corrected to 100% in my homeschool. So if I'm sitting there with them, we're going to correct it to 100%. If I have to go back and correct something because I had not been able to do that for some time, when I go back and correct it, we stop progressing in certain areas. We go back and we correct it, because I want to make sure that they're learning everything and not learning it wrong. I want them to learn it correctly. So I would advise you to do that, because it helps them to go back and see what they did wrong and move forward. And then as you progress, what happens is they're able to progress better, because they're not moving on an incorrect foundation. So I hope that was helpful to you. Remember, in all things, do you, because every family has a different dynamic. Every family has a different personality, and your homeschool is not going to look like my homeschool, but we may do some things the same, and hopefully we can help each other. Until next time, I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye.